From the studios of Community Media and in partnership with the Gettysburg Times, this is Community Focus, a look at what's happening in and around Adams County. I'm your host, Gerry, and I'm joined today by Andy Andrews, editor of the Gettysburg Times. Richard Franki, sorry, Richard. We'll take a look at a few of the editorial pages from the Times. I'm especially interested in this story. I just got a copy of this. This is the Adams Country, just out today, and it has a picture of my favorite item in Adams County, shining stars. I'm on the board of Shining Stars. I love Shining Stars dearly. I didn't know you were doing this feature, but it's really, really exciting to me because I love everything about this ministry and what it does. I was part of this ministry when we started way back when, I don't know how long ago, and our first year, I was so touched when we had a young lady, not this one I don't think, but a young lady who at the beginning of the year could not recognize family or speak a word or walk. And the end of the first year, she could do a little bit of all three, and their family was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. I was so blessed with the progress she made that year. It was incredible. So I love Shining Stars and really enjoy what they do to make Adams County a more powerful place. Brandy Crago, the founder of Shining Stars, passed on in the past year. And we're so sad about that. But Shining Stars is going on strong and really becoming an even larger, more vital entity in this community, I think. So tell us, Richard, from what you found out, what is horse therapy? And what does it involve and who does it help?
Okay, well, they have several different kinds of ways they use the horses over there. They have riding, therapeutic riding for kids who can, ride a horse, and sometimes maybe kids who aren't quite.
Yeah, they hold them on sometimes.
I mean, I got a story about, the one boy who they literally had to strap him into the horse because he couldn't even hold himself up.
Yeah.
But
I've never heard of straps being.
Well, I guess it was a brace. I shouldn't say straps.
They have walkers on each side.
They came up with a brace so that they could. I mean, wow. Because that's the other thing is that they have to have some volunteers.
Five people per horse.
5 people. Yeah, to just for one person to ride along the horse to keep make sure the rider doesn't fall off to guide the horse. It's a very intensive process for as far as volunteers go. They need a lot of volunteers. And I mean, the kids get to bond with the horse. They get to ride the horse. Like autistic kids.
They give commands to the horse.
Will get to talk.
Beautiful.
They can talk to the horse maybe when they can't talk to people. Yeah. And then there are kids who the ones, like I said, the boy who couldn't even sit up. That's a big thing there, is that by just riding horse, they develop core muscles, which are...
Something about the horse's gait.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way they move around because, and again, I had this question 3 times in less than 24 hours. Have you ever ridden a horse?
Oh, really?
I said, once, a long time ago. And I mean, it's like you got to be able to hold yourself up, right?
Yeah.
While the horse is moving forward, while it's bouncing side to side, while it's bouncing up and down. So to just be able to, you build muscles just by trying to keep yourself up, dealing with that motion. And that's a big thing for them.
I grew up in the Amish community in Lancaster County, and we had 2 horses as I was growing up. So I learned to ride early, probably 8 or 10 years old. I was riding by myself as often as I could. So I've loved horses from the beginning. When Brandy came to me with this idea way back, I said, you want to do what with horses? What are you talking about? I never heard of it before. And she said, they're finding out that horses are incredibly therapeutic for handicapped kids. I did not know that. That was a huge surprise to me. And so they've been doing this a long time and doing it incredibly well for a long time. We built them an arena at Freedom Valley Church. And they're operating out of that arena ever since. Bring the horses in every night. The Strabane Township doesn't allow us to have a facility that keeps horses there. So we had to build the arena, bring the horses in every day, and take them back home every day. So been an interesting deal.
Which is something they won't have to do anymore once they moved over to Mount Pleasant.
Yeah,
the new facility in
the new
Mount
arena
Township at Bonox Road and Centennial Road.
Going to be incredibly
they're
beautiful.
Working there now.
Spending millions on it. It's quite something. And donors are giving the money for that thing, which is always just blows me away. We're a couple of million away from paying for the whole thing, the millions that it will take to build it. I'm just amazed at what God has done with all of that. So how does the facility operate? How many horses, for example?
Right now, I think they have 18 horses, I think, that they use for the the riding. They have the 2 little horses that don't get ridden, I don't think, and then I want to say a donkey. So I think it's 21 animals, but 18 horses. And yeah, I mean, the horses are, there at their current facility on Old Harrisburg Road. Mm-hmm. But they do the indoor programs, as you mentioned, at the arena. Yeah. So they got to, bring the horses all the way over there which I guess isn't too far away.
And they're always looking for new horses. I heard something about somebody going out to check out some new horses this week. So they're always looking for more.
Yeah, because that was
an endless journey.
That was one of the things I asked about. Is okay, you got this new thing. It's like, how many more horses? Yeah. So, like maybe 25.
Right.
It's like, it's not about the horses, the expansion of the program. It's about being able to do more at one time, have more room. They don't have room to use all the horses right now. The farm's just not big enough. Right. So with the bigger farm, they'll be able to do, more. They have more programs running at a time. So they can.
60 acres on the new farm, which is a nice improvement.
10 or 15 now, so
something like that.
Big space, much bigger space.
Much bigger, yeah. That's really, really sweet, and I can't wait for us to get over there and figure out much of the expansion. There's so much expansion coming with all of this. It's really exciting to see. So the facility, I asked how the facility operates. Did you get a picture of that? It operates pretty much in the afternoons, I believe, of most days.
I mean, because they were, I was actually there a couple of days before 4th of July, so it's been almost 2 weeks, and it was when it was really hot.
Oh, that week.
And they had to cancel all their classes for that day, and it had been the day before, and then the day after was July 2nd, I think.
Yeah.
For anybody who's wondering exactly when that was the day the Hunterstown power plant was on fire, which we could plainly see from the Shining Stars farm right across.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. That was the same day that happened. That was the day I was there. So we were watching that and not watching kids because, like I said, it was too hot for them to be out there. So, as I understand it, they operate most afternoons. They bring the horses in, then the students come. Mm-hmm. And in addition to administering to handicapped children, they're also administering to adults. Can you talk about that a little bit? Absolutely. They have a program which, again, they're hoping, they will be that will be expanding for elderly folks who don't ride the horses. They just get to spend time with the horses. And, it's animal. I mean, sometimes they bring animals in the hospitals, right? They'll bring dogs in the hospital rooms because people can deal with an animal, a horse, and they get to work with the horses. They get to groom them. I think they do a lot of the same things the kids do because they also do that with the kids, take care of the horses, and they just have because I asked about this, I said they had one lady there who was 94.
Wow.
And she was doing, the whole program with the horses. She was just, I don't know exactly what she was doing, but, maybe she was sitting there in a wheelchair petting a horse and,
that's
maybe helping to groom the horse.
Great.
But, 94. And a lot of the older folks, they don't have, that was again a thing, they don't have peers, right?
Right.
If you live to be 90, a lot of the people you know have probably passed away.
Probably,
so
yeah.
They're lonely. I mean, that's the thing now. Older people get depressed because they don't have anybody to socialize with. So they come in, once a week, and they get to spend time with the horses and everybody who's there. And it's
such a great thing. And there's Ministry of Veterans.
That too,
which is incredible. All veterans can come and ride horses there, which is amazing.
And that is free.
Yeah.
I mean, the classes for the kids and and I checked on this just this morning too because I hadn't asked about it. $35 for 9 weeks. That's really not
so inexpensive.
But the veterans that's free of charge. They just got a grant. I think I mentioned that in the story. That they got a grant from the Pennsylvania, some kind of the Veterans Affair. No, I'm not going to. The fund or something to expand their program, their outreach to veterans. So they're going to try and get more veterans. And I mean, it's the same. Again, they get to spend some time with the animals, with the horses, and.
So, if there's any veterans out there, and riding horses would be therapeutic for you, you could sign up with Shining Stars and be part of that. So what's the recently announced expansion news all about? Tell us about that.
So that's their
Some
new,
great pictures in here.
Their new facility. They've broken ground already. They're working out there. I have to confess, I did not get to see that.
Yeah.
But they are working. I know Daryl's been, our photographer, Daryl Wheeler, has been out there a bunch of times. He was there for the groundbreaking back in April.
Yeah.
And they're going to have, because this facility they bought, it has a barn.
Some facilities, yes.
Yeah, but they can't use them for I mean, they tried, I think, to figure out a way that they could use the existing facilities, but it's just too much work to get it up to spec. And
we're going to find a way to use some of it.
They're going to use it now because they got a crew from Adams Electric coming next week.
Yeah.
I think it's the 23rd. Coming 50 people from Adams Electric who are coming there to fix up that old barn.
They're being so generous.
Exactly, volunteers, and they're bringing all kinds of equipment, and they're going to fix up that barn to get it ready that they can.
Adams Electric is paying 50 people for a day to come and volunteer. It's incredible. That is such a gift to us, such a gift to that ministry.
Half of them
really
from Virginia.
Appreciate that.
They're not even all from this area, apparently.
I didn't know that.
I think she said 25 from around here.
How does Adams Electric?
From Virginia.
How do they get people? It's Adams. I don't understand all of that, but I really appreciate what they're doing. It's super kind. I really appreciate that.
They'll be out there the 23rd.
So how else is the community involved?
So they got a big fundraiser coming up. Well, I mean,
fundraisers
Conewago Enterprises is their contractor, and Mike and Jean Rice. Jane. Sorry, Mike and Jane Rice, the owners, are their biggest donors.
Yeah.
So a lot of the work that's going to be done in that new facility is being done for free, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a flooring contractor from Baltimore, B&B Flooring from Baltimore. The guy heard about, he came to one of the fundraisers, the guy who owns the company, and he said, we're going to do everything. He's going to do flooring and installation, no cost.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting a lot of help from, and they got this fundraiser coming up in September.
And there's many, many, many small donors, many people who give the small amounts they can give that add up to a lot of money.
Absolutely.
We appreciate all of them so much. They're really, really important to us. The new facility is going to be sweet and really offer a lot to the community in terms of the riding program, the driving program, the veterans program. Everything gets expanded tremendously in that new facility. So we're very excited about that. So how is the community involved in the expansion?
Well, because right now they have a waiting list, which is really a waiting list of people they want to help, but they can't.
Right.
And the waiting list is people from Adams and York County.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to remember the number, but it's in the high hundred, like 100, it's more than 150, I think. I want to say 190.
I don't remember either, but it's a high number.
Close to 200, I think. Yeah. And, that's the whole, again, it's not the horses that is the limiting. They have plenty of horses for that. They just don't have volunteers. They don't have the space to help
Right.
all these people. So hopefully is maybe to not have a waiting list. They can help everybody in York and Adams County.
It's hard to imagine helping everybody because the number is so huge.
Keeps going up.
There's around 100 students now, I believe, and to go to 190 is a tremendous jump.
It's the space issue. The farm is just too small.
What will the expansion contribute to the community? How will the expansion help the entire community?
Well, more veterans will be helped. More elderly folks can be helped. More kids.
More handicapped kids.
Handicapped kids. I mean,
incredible.
They got the new barn. They'll be able to get somebody in a wheelchair up. I want to say if it's in the carts or on a horse, but they have to build, up because you imagine, trying to get. Yeah. I mean, just a lot of the kids have trouble even getting in a horse, and they're going to have a ramp, and they're going to have a facility where the horse will be right next to a raised space, where they can get them on a horse without having to lift them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible. What they're doing is incredible, and the community is enthusiastically behind them. Many new donors are coming on daily. I'm very excited about all of that. We need all the help we can get to do the work that we're called to do there. It's really, really encouraging work and encouraging to see an organization like that really thriving in our community. Very excited about that. Anything else you learned from that you want to share with us?
I just mentioned one thing because they were all very hesitant. The staff that was there that day when I was there, I asked, okay, can I get your picture? And said, let's go over to the barn. We can get a picture with, the horses. And they were not prepared. And so I was like, oh, but don't show our feet because none of us is wearing shoes to be in the barn. They were not planning to be in the barn that day.
Really?
No. Then we brought in the horse. Which one was it? It was one of the little horses was in there too.
I see the little horse there.
Which one is it? Thelma and Louise, the little horses. That was Thelma. And to get Thelma in the picture, I had to show their feet had to be in the picture. So they were rather embarrassed about not wearing the proper footwear. So since that picture showed it, I was like, okay. So I'll try and cover for them. That was my fault.
Where do all the volunteers come from?
That's a good question. I heard about it. A lot of sometimes clients become volunteers. All right. I mean,
they do. Yes.
Some of the elderly folks who have been there to do the programs have gone on to volunteer. I know Pam Hoffman herself, is a veteran. And I mean, she's been a volunteer there for long, but she's president of the board and also a veteran. And she was a little bit mad at me when I suggested that the veterans were an older group. Are we all old? I mean, she's the veterans, and they're just the kids, and it's just like I said, trying to help more people.
Yeah, really incredible. Really, really incredible what they're doing, and really love what they're doing, making this community demonstrably better through helping handicapped kids and veterans. I love that very much. So when do the new facilities hope to be open?
Oh, I mean,
some of it next spring.
I mean, they have, because they're doing the work in 3 phases, and the first phase is the office and client space.
Yeah.
So the office is, but this client, it's 6,000 square feet, so they're going to have a dedicated space for the veterans, and I want to say elderly folks too, but that I'm not sure about. But I mean, they're going to have space for the kids. It's going to be, and that was a very important thing for them, is for it to be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the other thing that Pam said, is a lot of the people have very clinical. They're in a clinical environment
all the time.
Environment for a lot of the day.
Yeah.
Older folks maybe in nursing homes. That I'm not sure about. Some of them I'm sure. So they get to come out, and it was very important that the space not be like that.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to see everybody enjoying that space and really flourishing in it. Can't wait to see a lot of miracles happen in kids' lives as well. It's really beautiful there, and I really enjoy that ministry. So, moving on from there.
Before we go forward, Gerry, I want to mention the next issue is August 26th. Now, this issue,
Next
July
Country
5th,
Living issue. Adam's Country.
Yeah, we figure with vacations in summer, we're going to push it off till the end of the month.
Okay.
But I always like to keep it a surprise. I don't want to reveal too much what we're trying to do. But the 26th of August, today's date, July 15th, when this is being taped, it's in the paper. So the people who received the paper today got the Adam's Country. If you haven't received it, if you look and you find out later that you missed it, you can go to our website and it's online on a segment of the website.
Yeah, I always use the online piece.
Yeah, so take a look at it.
You don't have to publish one for me.
So,
I like the online newspaper.
I'm going to give a plug. I got to try doing it occasionally. So
absolutely. And these pictures are absolutely gorgeous. This
I want to thank Shining
magazine
Stars for supplying
really incredible,
fantastic photos.
They
Just
really
exceptionally good photos.
Really good.
I enjoyed running them, and I picked several out that I thought really kind of shined, and just did the whole organization a favor by promoting it through these kind of photos. So we probably put the most photos in of any feature we've done so far, which I had planned because I thought it was worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. So. Great job on that.
Thanks.
All right, so we're moving from there to the editorial page.
Editorial page.
You have talked about this for a couple of months, wanting to spend some time on the editorial page because of how it affects the community.
Well, Gerry,
it's really beautiful.
For the record, I want to make sure people understand that I'm trying to dispel the assumption, the rumor, or the myth that we're left-leaning Democrat. That's not true.
Yeah.
I receive all sorts
of... The editorial page looks a little that way.
Most of the time, that's what I get.
Okay.
I had an editorial talking about how we're not hearing from the right-leaning Republicans of the county to contribute.
There's a call right there we got to put out. We need some right-leaning writers.
We have contributors. We've had some great letters to the editor writers that kind of fit that mold of conservative nature, Republican. They've been that way all their life. They're very devoted to their party and what they're all about. We have the Bob Stillwells, on that side, the Greg Marescas, Flowers, the ones we get from our syndication. Occasionally we get contributions from Gus and Brian and their letter writers that keep us on our toes. But I'm trying to make sure that you understand that we do not dispose of right conservative
That's good to know.
So we focus on that. What's exciting is I think this is the first page for a lot of our devoted readers. We have a lot of very staunchly devoted readers.
People who go straight to A4.
A4, right? They get the paper, they go to A4. They want to see what is happening. What's the controversy of the day? So you have letter writers fighting.
That's very interesting.
Making comments about editorials. It just goes on and on. We live in a very political and outspoken county. People have very strong opinions. And they absolutely need to share them, and they enjoy us publishing them. Sometimes I think they get a little bit too obsessed with being in the paper a lot. I have to limit people to once a month in the letter writing area, the letters to the editor, and once a week to the columnists. So if they complain about some of the columnists are on a schedule once a week. And
you are limiting them because the paper is just too full.
Oh yeah, we have to provide other opinions. We have to keep it. It has to focus on different aspects of what's going on and what the opinions are about those aspects. So we got to keep it open to other contributors and other insights, other thoughts. But they really, some pay attention to what's going on. They really want to respond, and they have very strong voices. So the contributors, Bob Stillwell, Tony McNevin. Tony McNevin is particularly active. William Stack, Greg Maresca, Michael Cooper White, one of our columnists and one of our one of our best correspondents. And we have syndicated columnists from Cagle, Elwood Watson, and also Purcell, Pullman, Flowers. There's all other names. So we continue to rotate them as much as possible and continue to provide them. Sometimes we miss them for the week for whatever reason, but we are welcome to any right-leaning, conservative, Republican commentary about anything.
All right.
So,
well, you put the word out today, so that should help a little bit.
Just want to make sure the readers understand that that's what it's all about.
That's awesome. What are some of the unusual developments in friendships that you formed, that have been formed through all this?
Well, at one point, one of the editorial writers had something to say about, something, and it kind of stirred up the pot a little bit, among the conservative readers. So there were some writers that contributed letters to the editor, Gus Papillo, Brian Scasey, and they were arguing like back and forth in the letter column until I had to bring it to an end for some, they fought about the issues that were discussed. I forget exactly what they were, but it was something to do with the left-leaning Democrat side of a comment that someone was making. They argued for a while back and forth, and then after speaking with Gus for a while, I found out that they both had something in common. They both were veterans. They shared the absolute conviction that you have a right to share your opinion. You don't have to argue about it. You don't have to agree with it, but you can share your opinion.
Right.
So in a way, we started a kind of a nice relationship because they found out, they served in the armed forces almost the same time. And because of this dialogue, they became pretty good friends. They started out, I thought, kind of enemies, and they became friends along the way.
That's great.
So it was a pleasure to develop that relationship.
Was this recent?
About a month or so ago.
Okay.
I think it was only natural that they'd finally just reach an agreement because they want to be civil about what they have to say. They don't want to lambast each other for what they have to say. They don't want to be too critical, but they believe strongly in their right to share that opinion.
Sure. Good.
And you have to respect other people's right.
I love that about America. That matters to me.
Makes America. That's what makes it special. But there's people I think that are up late, up early, reading that segment of the paper more than I think they even focus on page one.
So, what do you dislike about managing that page, or sort of riding herd on that group of people?
Dispelling the myth and the rumor that we're left-leaning Democrat.
Okay.
I think trying to show that we're trying to maintain the balance and trying to work in ways that we can keep that balance. And I guess the frustration I have is I get comments from Bob and some other writers who are right-leaning, Republicans, very conservative. I like to hear more from them. I don't hear from them enough.
Okay.
And so, my responsibility is to fill that page. I can't put, a childhood drawing in there and fill in the colors and send it to us. I mean, I have to put something in there that is relevant to what's happening in the world. So if I have some left-leaning, Democrat contributions and I have nothing from the right side, I'm going to think, well, I got to fill a paper. I got to fill that page. So that's the responsibility I have. And
I wouldn't want your job on that.
It's a tough job, Gerry, let me tell you.
I can see that.
It's tough making both sides, I'm not necessarily trying to make both sides happy, but to represent both sides.
Sure. What do you like about this job, about the job of figuring that page out?
Well, the writers are very passionate and very strongly opinionated about their own ideas about the way things should be run, and I like their passion and just their devotion and how serious they take what we do and what happens in that page. So I'm really happy to deal with that. I like their passion, both sides. Both sides are very have a lot of convictions. But we're going back decades to this whole issue of who's right and what side of the political.
Sure. More than decades. It's hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years, yeah. And it's and the conflict continues.
We're 250 years this year.
Yeah. So and some days I put the columnists in and I put the Mastriano on the top and I put I put like the McNevin or something on the bottom. So I'll have really what I consider, I don't know who anybody else consider this, but I consider it to be real opposing views, and then watch the fireworks, and then we'll get 7 or 8 letters talking about, the representative was wrong. I think you got to stop using McNevin. We get all sorts of comments like that about what we should be doing.
I bet you do.
Readership feels like it's part of the ownership. They feel like it's their paper. They own what they see in it.
Sure.
And they believe. And one day, I found there was a lot of contributions that happened in one day. I put the right-leaning material in, conservative, Republican. It was mostly that, except for maybe a little bit of a letter to the editor. But the opinion I got was good page, good. So I'm wondering if sometimes they don't want to hear opposing sides at all. They want their sides, and they want only their side.
Yeah.
That we can't do that. We have
No, you've got to be balanced.
So I'm trying to maintain that
From
balance.
the beginning of this country, I mean, I hear some of the fiercest arguments were back when we were founding, and in Congress, we had the right and the left were against each other hard and serious in those days. And I think we all became better for it.
Yeah, well, I just like you, I grew up in Lancaster County, conservative capital of the world, I consider it. And the papers represented both sides. There was two papers at that time. There was the Lancaster New Era, which is afternoon, and that was Republican. Then you had the Intelligencer Journal, which is the morning, which was Democrat. And so they could put both points of view and be the same company. And I think that's what they're striving for. But I think in 09...
I go back to the days where they were separate companies.
No, the same company. It was a Steinman company, Steinman Enterprises.
Steinman bought the New Era, didn't they? I seem to remember that when I was 12 years old or 10.
I don't know. It goes back pretty far, Gerry.
Yeah.
But yeah, years ago they put that, they got that paper and part of the family. But the Intel, I think, has been with that family for a long time. But now it's LNP. They combined both of them. Back in, I think it was 09, they combined those papers into one. And then I think in 15 or 16, it was renamed LNP. But I don't want to talk about other papers. I don't want them saying bad things about me or us.
No.
So I'm not going to say.
We're not criticizing them. We're just observing them.
Yeah, what's happened. Yeah.
So that's really interesting. So I want to look at some of the headlines that were in the Gettysburg Times. I'm a headline reader, so that's pretty much what I do. And I open the paper up usually in the mornings, and I scan a few headlines, and I often leave it at that. So this was on the 11th. Cyclists ride the globe of death at Gettysburg Bike Week. I've seen that before. It's an interesting thing.
Well, shout out to Daryl Wheeler, who takes excellent photos for us to use.
Yeah.
And I saw that. I said, that's definitely front page. I mean, nothing beats the globe of death on the front page. I mean, it's just, it's going to light people up. But
it is interesting for a few minutes.
My wife, Debbie, reads the paper religiously, and she says, isn't that dangerous?
And Littlestown weighs new rules for food trucks. That's interesting all by itself. APD, activities focused on health and wellness. What is APD?
Ag Progress Days. We're trying to focus on that because our rural community in Adams
I lived
County,
on that when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was.
We couldn't wait for Ag Progress Days. The best time of our year.
It's a summer fair.
Yeah.
For a lot of farmers.
Taxpayers bear burden for federal student loans. That's scary to think about. DAR plans wreath laying ceremony. Interesting.
On the front page, Gerry, we'll mix a combination of local news like the DAR, but we'll also put in different syndications like Center Square, Spotlight PA. So we'll have those contributions, and of course we'll have staff. The staff reports are handled by someone at the staff that just basically takes the release and expands it if necessary, or gets some extra quotes. But so there's kind of the three areas. I'm working on getting other syndications in there, such as Capital Star. That would be a good one to have.
Okay.
Perhaps other ones we can come up with along the way. But Spotlight PA and Center Square, you'll see a lot of that.
This goes back a day now. Splish Splash making a path, high water on York Street. I don't know anything about this.
Daryl's out getting photos again. That's Daryl Wheeler's contribution. And I just thought, we're looking for action, looking for intriguing shots. And I had some doubts about it because I'm thinking you don't want people going through a rolling river because it could be dangerous. But if you can see the tires and you can see it's 2 to 3 inches, I'll get it. I'll let it
Okay.
go. But
Daryl's done some great photos for Shining Stars. I remember him from years ago. He's done some great stuff on that. McSherrystown closes book in the Fairview Avenue Park. That's where my church is. The Fairview Avenue Park has been an interesting part of our town for a long time, and I guess McSherrystown's not managing it anymore.
It's gone to Cologne.
Yeah. Miss PA signs autographs at Ice Cream Social.
Yeah, we had a release that she was going to be over there, so that's one of those things that Daryl goes to try to get some shots of what's happening. I guess on the weekend or close to the weekend, or I think that was Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure what day that was, but I figured pretty faces in the paper is sometimes a good idea.
County real estate tops $10.5 billion. What? I don't understand. What is that? What county real estate?
Total value of real estate in the county. Michael Cooper White did that story for us. one of our biggest correspondents, and he covers the commissioners. He covers a lot of different things, and he went to.
If you wanted to buy the entire Adams County, you would need $10.5 billion. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's all you need.
That's a little more than I have today.
Watch out for Elon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Digging the foundation for the bandstand. Which bandstand is this?
This was the one of the parks. I
don't remember.
Unity Park.
Yeah, community. Yeah, and there's a bandstand.
In Gettysburg.
This Eagle Scout developed his architectural plans, and they're following his plans.
Oh, that's awesome. It's awesome. Gettysburg's. All right, I'm switching here with you. Day of Cannonade, battle reenactment at Daniel Lady's farm.
Yep.
That's always a big thing. My family and I went to that years ago.
Yeah, during those the celebration, we had a lot of things going on July 4th weekend, and Daryl was out taking a lot of photos, including the fireworks.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of coverage of that. I think one of our correspondents, Pete Vogel, was out with the cannon firing, and
Yeah.
I think that's
always impressive to see and hear. Very impressive. Forget the heat and rain. Show goes off of the rec park. Man, what a show. That's some good pictures there, Daryl.
Those
I
are
like
very
those
good
pictures.
pictures.
Amazing.
I have to confess, Daryl put in the picture on the left to use, and I went back and I found another one, and I said, oh, I really love this picture, the one on the right, because if you look at it, you can see the people sitting there watching.
It is incredible.
Reflected in the glow from the fireworks. I said,
Right.
this is really cool. I said, I'll just use them both, because this was last Monday of last week, and and he came in and he was there.
He does great stuff. Gettysburg on board for America 250. America 250 had to be big in Gettysburg. I didn't get to much of that, but it sounded interesting. Gettysburg after the battle.
Yeah, we did a 3-day presentation of the battle, July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and we started that, and we ran this. It was funny how this came together. We had some information that from our publisher that they wanted to run this 3-day. So Wayne had spoken to me, and I said we can develop a 3-day logo, get the content, and so I was talking with Ann Gallen for a while with Dale Gallen's gallery, and she said. I asked her about contributing to July 4th, so she wanted to know if we could run the Washington crossing the Delaware, at Christmas Eve, and I thought that's closer to Christmas Eve. I'd run that. And out of the blue, she sends in the 3 days of the battle, and I thought, I don't even know if I asked her that. She just sent them in. She must have been reading my mind, but so it all came together. So we had the great artwork, we had the stories, we had a plan for the 3 days. So that worked out really nicely, and I enjoyed working on that.
I can't imagine the challenge that Gettysburg had after the actual battle. The immense number of dead and wounded was unbelievable.
Yeah, we're going to see that in, I guess, the Gettysburg 1863 movie coming out. But I haven't seen any stills or any what do you call those things? The trailers from that. So I'm hoping to see what that looks like. But
great stuff. I love your paper, and I read it a lot. I don't quite get it on every day, but I read online. I read it as often as I can.
We have very devout readers that stay with us for years. And as soon as we do something different, they're going to ask us, why are we doing that differently? What I feel particularly proud of is we had a lot of readership requests to bring back Out of the Past. So we retitled that Back in Time. And so we continue that every Friday. So if you want to look about, and it's some of the craziest, most insane things have happened in the past century and a half since the Times began, that it'll make you laugh. So it's always going to be on page 5 of Friday, page 5 every Friday.
Okay.
So
I don't usually read it on Fridays. Friday's my day off, and I don't always read the paper on my day off. So
you got things to do on your day off.
I have to take a look.
I play golf on Fridays.
I really like the online version. I'm sorry?
I play golf on Fridays. It's my day off, too.
Nice. I really like the online version. It's really excellent. And that's what I usually read. Yeah. I don't get the printed copies so much.
Occasionally, breaking news will run, a story online only to start out, and we'll have the next day when the printed edition will have the full story. But we've done that a few times already. You just did that, Richard, right, with the... You put it online right away about the Upper Adams School Board?
Oh, yeah, don't get me started on Upper Adams.
You're still working on that?
I was just at Upper Adams last night, yes.
Okay. Have they replaced the board members yet?
They have.
Okay,
2 new
good.
board members, yes.
Good.
And they signed a contract with the teachers.
Did they? Good.
Progress.
There's great progress happening there. So you sound a little overwhelmed from a news perspective there, but
It was a busy meeting last night.
I'm glad you're covering it.
Biglerville.
Good. Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you all for joining us today. I really appreciate it. For more information on any of the stories that we talked about today, find a copy of the Gettysburg Times or go to gettysburgtimes.com, where I read it on a regular basis. You will enjoy the Gettysburg Times. It's a great newspaper. Thanks for being with us.